Thank you for checking out this week's exclusive content video. We are going to talk about how to make a signature beverage at home to satisfy that sweet tooth you may get in the afternoon and not have to pay for that signature beverage price at a specialty shop. So the first part that we want to cover is how to make a simple syrup or infused simple syrup, which is kind of the fundamentals as to how to craft a signature beverage. So you are going to get 1 part sugar, 1 part water. It's going to be equal parts. So 1 cup of cane sugar, 1 cup water. You're going to get that to medium high heat and allow it to come to a rolling boil. Next, we're going to talk about how to make 3 different kinds of simple syrups. The first is going to be vanilla bean. What you want to do is get one of those vanilla bean sticks, split it down the middle to expose the beans actually inside of it. You're then going to, as soon as you apply heat to your sugar and water, add your 2/2 of the stick to it and continue to stir as it gets to a rolling boil. Once it hits a rolling boil, you're then going to bring to low heat, allow it to simmer for 4 to 5 minutes, and continue to stir. Once you've hit that 4 to 5 minute mark, you're going to pour it into a mason jar and leave your 2/2 of your vanilla bean stick in that jar, which will continue to infuse that vanilla bean simple syrup with more flavor as you refrigerate it. Next, we're going to talk about how to do a lavender bud or a rose petal simple syrup. So you're going to want to get 2 to 3 tablespoons of lavender buds or food grade rose petals. You're going to throw that into a blender and make it really fine. As soon as you apply heat to your equal parts sugar and water, you're going to dump in your buds or rose petals and begin to stir. Once you hit a rolling boil, again, low heat, 4 to 5 minutes, allow it to simmer, and then you're going to want to strain out all the remaining buds or rose petals. To do that, what works best is a fine metal mesh. And so you can either do that with an infused tea ball, or you can use your French press, the mesh that is in there. Both will work great and will remove all of those lavender buds or rose petals. That's how you can do 3 different kinds of infused simple syrups. Next, what we want to talk about is how to do a different types of cold foams. The US Barista Championships saw a lot of use of cold foams in their signature beverage, and Starbucks has really popularized this. So what you're going to want to do is get about 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream or half and half. You're then going to want to get one of those milk frothers with the button on the back that has a motor inside of it. That works best for this method. You are then going to add simple syrup to taste if you would like to do a lavender infused, rose petal, or vanilla bean cold foam. So you're going to add that to taste, and then you're going to mix it until it's at your desired consistency, spoon your foam out, and you are good to go. The biggest thing when I think of crafting signature beverages is how to pair the tasting notes with your coffee. For example, our Columbia this week is a organic lot. It's a wash process, has really great notes of pear, vanilla, citrus. So what I would do is recommend pairing with a vanilla simple syrup or a vanilla cold foam when crafting a signature beverage. So we are going to talk about how to do one of our oldest beverages that we served back in the day, which is a shakerado. So what you're going to do is get a martini shaker or a cocktail shaker, throw some ice into that, 8 ounces of milk, double shot of espresso, or you can do a cold brew concentrate. If you don't have an espresso machine at your house, you're then going to add your vanilla bean syrup to taste and then shake vigorously, dump your ice and beverage into a glass, and you've got a vanilla bean Columbia infused shakerado, which will be delicious because it's going to pair really well with those tasting notes. There's also different ways that you can do an espresso tonic with purees. So for example, if you have an espresso machine at your house, I would recommend a pear puree. You can then put that at the bottom of your glass. You're then going to do some tonic water on top of it, float your double shot of espresso, and you are good to go. The biggest thing is pair the elements of your tasting notes of your coffee to the different notes that you're trying to infuse or add different flavors to it to pull out those notes, experiment, and have fun. Thanks so much for checking out this week's video, guys, and have a great week.